Are UFO whistleblowers going to get immunity? Are they going to be able to reveal this top secret stuff without fear of reprisal? This is amazing. This is huge news. Come on in. This is Cosmic Road, where I discuss UFOs and the paranormal. Today we are going to be discussing a huge news story where there is an amendment to a bill before Congress that is going to potentially give UFO whistleblowers immunity, allowing people like Lou Elizondo to reveal everything they know without violating their NDA, their non-disclosure agreement. So in this, theoretically would apply to people at Area 51 and all sorts of stuff, right, Patterson? All those guys could come forward theoretically and spill the beans if this goes through, and it's, I think, likely that it will. All right, let me get in here and just read you the article. This is from thedrive.com. UFO whistleblowers would get immunity under new amendment. The language would give government employees and contractors immunity from reprisal for coming forward. All right, in an effort to protect those with information about unidentified aerial phenomena, and increase the influx of reports about them, Representative Mike Gallagher has introduced an amendment to the fiscal year 2023 National Defense Authorization Act. The amendment would establish a process within the government for reporting UAPs and provide whistleblower-like protections. For a multitude of reasons, the U.S. troops and government contractors have traditionally been reluctant to come forward with information about these incidents, regardless of their validity. Beyond that, there have also been long-standing allegations that the government and defense contractors could be hiding previous UFO-related programs and evidence. Yeah, really. Yeah. This would allow those with information to come forward without retribution. Some have even posited that the language like that in Gallagher's amendment could lead to UFO disclosure. In essence, it says that regardless of any previous written or oral non-disclosure agreements that could be interpreted as a legal constraint on reporting by a witness of an unidentified aerial phenomena, those with information about UAPs, more commonly known as UFOs, would not be violating federal classified information laws if they come forward. The amendment also calls for the head of the new Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group, AIMSONG, as people are calling it, tasked with investigating UAPs on behalf of the Defense Secretary and Director of National Intelligence to establish a secure system for receiving reports of any events relating to UAPs and any government or government contractor activity or program related to UAPs. The reporting system shall be administered by designated and widely known, easily accessible, and appropriately cleared Department of Defense and Intelligence Community employees or contractors as part of AIMSONG, which is a much enhanced and more deeply mandated effort that replaced the UAP task force. Any information would be screened to prevent unauthorized public reporting or compromise of properly classified military and intelligence systems, programs, and related activity, including all categories and levels of special access and compartmented access program, current, historical, and future. So, in other words, they're not going to tell the public this stuff. They may talk about it behind closed doors in a committee. It may help AIMSONG develop a broader picture of what's going on and what the government knows, but they're not going to necessarily reveal any of this to the public if it goes forward. So, however, federal agencies and contractors working with the government would be precluded from taking actions, including suspending security clearances for those who report UAP incidents and information. And those who are retaliated against may bring a private civil action for all appropriate remedies, including injunctive relief and compensatory and punitive damages against the government or other employer who took the personnel action in the United States Court of Federal Claims. Gallagher has long been a proponent of increasing the flow of information about UAPs. During a congressional hearing on May 17th, the first of its kind in about 50 years. He asked a Pentagon official about a supposed incident from the 1960s at Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana. And you can watch that there. I'll give you the link. One such incident allegedly occurred at Malmstrom Air Force Base, in which 10 of our nuclear ICBMs were rendered inoperable. At the same time, a glowing red orb was observed overhead. I'm not commenting on the accuracy of this. I'm simply asking you whether you're aware of it and whether you have any comments on the accuracy of that reporting. Deputy Director of Navy Intelligence Scott Bray responded, "That data is not within the holdings of the U.A.P. task force." Yeah, that's one of the many, BS answers they gave at the hearing. They just lied through their teeth the whole time and, pretended that those pyramids were drones. Whatever. So I'm not going to read the whole article. It's fairly long. I will let you read it at your leisure if you want to. I think this is a good step forward, but it is only a baby step, and it is not going to lead to disclosure. I would be very doubtful if it led to disclosure, because these are going to be things they talk about behind closed doors. Yeah, the AIM song guys, that testified at the hearing, Bray and that other fellow, did not seem to be interested in disclosure at all. They lied, they obfuscated. Me and many others were hoping that AIM song would be, a huge leap forward in providing disclosure, or some limited form of disclosure, at least inching our way forward toward disclosure. But at the hearing, it became very obvious that they are doing the same sort of, lies and obfuscation that the government has been doing on this issue forever. And it looks like it is taking the senators getting this amendment going forward to actually accomplish anything. So I don't see the AIM song guys doing anything. They're not out talking about this. We don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. If they are doing anything, we really don't know. But the senators are pushing this forward. At least some of the senators want this information out there, or at least they want the process to go forward and a greater understanding of the phenomenon to be achieved. They may be the only ones to benefit from it, because they would be hearing this information in a closed hearing. But at least they want answers. Maybe they'll leak the answers to us. Who knows? I guess we can hope for a miracle. It could happen, and stuff does leak out. So, I hope that is what happens with this. That's probably the best outcome we can expect. But it is a baby step. It is getting potentially some of the answers to some people that are actually interested in learning them. So, that's a major step. It's a major baby step. It's not going to help the public face of disclosure, I don't believe, unless some of this stuff leaks out. But it does show that some people in power are interested in this issue and are interested in pushing this forward. That's great news. Now, if we could only get a UFO program that was as interested as these senators. I also don't see this helping get the really juicy stuff out there. This, amendment, this proposed amendment, probably is not going to affect the Area 51 guys, the breakaway civilization, those guys. Those guys are in their own world, doing their own thing. They're dealing with aliens. They're carrying out abductions. They're doing all sorts of nutty stuff. So, they are not going to be testifying before Congress about this. If they did, they would be murdered. It could get really bad for them and their whole families. If you have investigated the UFO cover-up in any detail, you will have heard how the government, the men in black, that is the human men in black, because there do seem to be two separate groups. There's the human men in black, and there are the non-human men in black that do largely the same thing, try to suppress the issue. And they will go to people and they will say, hey, we're going to kill your whole family if you talk about this stuff. So, and it's very possibly true. It's very possible that they would. So yeah, so the Area 51 guys are not going to come forward about this. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But we could get people like Lou Elizondo and others within the purview of ATIP or AIM-SONG, where ATIP has investigated these cases like Commander Dave Fravor, all the Nimitz guys, all the USS Roosevelt guys, all that kind of stuff. Those people could come forward and testify to what they've seen in Congress, which could push the ball forward behind closed doors and maybe provide some pressure on the guys leading AIM-SONG, whoever they are. I'm not sure if it's still Bray and that other fellow or if they have new people leading it. But at any rate, yeah, there could be some activity that could pressure those guys into doing something. At the very least, it's a positive direction. It can't do any harm, and it could actually do some good. So I'm positive on it. I wish I could be more positive on it. I wish that I was getting the vibe they were going to release this to the public, but it is what it is. It's a step. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think this is a positive step? Is this just more of the same? What do you think is going to happen if this bill gets passed, if this amendment gets passed with the bill? Meanwhile, please give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And share on social media. I'm trying to get the word out about this channel. And of course, please hit subscribe. And if you do, please hit the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. And until then, Cosmic Road out.